Dear students, good morning. We have already discussed some of the metal forming process in the earlier classes, such as forging, rolling, etc. Now we'll discuss about the model 4 extrusion for process. Then extrusion is the process of squeeze forming of a metal under compressive forces which uh, uh, which force the metal to flow out of a restricted opening in a die. Extrusion is generally a hot working process because of a large forces required. However, cold extrusion is possible for many metals. Extrusion is widely used for producing cylindrical bars and tubes. Then, however, products of such as toothpaste tubes, solid and tubular stocks with relatively complex sections can be manufactured by extrusion process from readily extrudable metals such as aluminum. Products of metals and alloys made of aluminum, copper, lead and magnesium which have a relatively low yield strength and a lower hot working temperature are widely extruded. Ferrous materials which have high yield strength and high hot working temperatures are difficult to extrude because of high extrusion forces required, as they have tendency to stick to the die and container walls under high compression under high compression process or pressures and temperature conditions. However, with the use of high temperature lubricants such as phosphate based and molten glass lubricants, ferrous alloys including stainless steels are being extruded now. Then other popular products made by extrusion process include window frames, railing tubings, different cross sections, then various structural members. Extruded sections can be cut into desired products such as brackets, gears, levers, door handles and fittings for structure and architecture application. Then however, then it is finding a wider applications in the engineering era also. So this what extrusion process can be used for production of many shapes. Then however, then methods of extrusion. There are so many methods of extrusion. Then the extrusion process may be classified into different types, then such as direct or forward extrusion, indirect or backward or inverted extrusion, lateral extrusion, extrusion forging, impact extrusion, Hooker extrusion, then hydrostatic extrusion. These are the different types of extrusion processes. Then we'll discuss one by one. First we'll take up the direct extrusion process. Then so direct extrusion process, the figure illustrate the direct extrusion process. Then so the principle of direct extrusion process is schematically represented in the figure. Then in this process a hot metal billet is placed in a container of the press, and then compressive forces are applied on the metal billet by hydraulically driven ram. Due to these forces, the billet gets squeezed and advances into a container and then through the die opening. In this process, the metal flow through the die occurs in the same direction as that of the ram movement, hence the name direct extrusion process. The main advantages of this process is that it is the most simplest extrusion method and widely used for extruding a variety of metal cross sections. However, in this process, since there is a relative movement between the container wall and the billet, frictional forces are high and requires more power for operation. Also, there is a possibility of extrusion defect in this method. Then so you look at the picture. Then so here then the metal heated above the recrystallization temperature is placed in a container and ram advances against the die. Then as it presses, then the heated billet, when it reaches a semi-solid state, forces 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 through the narrow opening in the die. Therefore, it will be extruded to the desired shape then. So, however, then all different parts of the what direct extrusion equipment, it is clearly mentioned in a figure then. So you look at the picture then. Billet, it is placed in a container, it is designed to withstand the very high stresses then die holder, die extrusion pad, then ram, it is clearly mentioned in the figure then. So when it is advances, it compresses with high pressures through the narrow opening, and initially the metal, it will be dragged to the what drag to what squeeze then. So then after applying pressure by ram, then hydraulically or by some other mechanical means, then it will be extruded through the die narrow opening in the die, then you will get a desired shape then. That is having some kind of extrusion, then power required also, it is very high, and even then frictional forces are also high then all these can be prevented by applying some of the what metallic lubricants in the container. Thereby you can avoid the frictional forces then. However, then it is design of equipment, it is somewhat complicated, but it is placed horizontally. However, then the movement of the what ram and the extruded product is in the same direction. Therefore, it is termed as a direct extrusion, as we already explained in the definition. Then coming to the second method, that is a indirect extrusion then. So indirect extrusion also, it is clearly mentioned, represented in a figure then. So you look at the picture then, it is also contains a what container, then hollow ram, then die, then all it is placed in a container, then arranged in a container, then in the desired for desired position then the principle of indirect extrusion, it is clearly shown here then. So in this process then, the die is carried by a hollow ram then. You observed in the figure then, hollow ram, and it is forced against the hot metal billet. Under the high compressive loads, then the metal flows out of the what die opening in a direction opposite to the what ram movement. Sometimes it is convenient to use a fixed ram with the die and move the what container with the billet. In this process, the metal flow through the die takes place in a direction opposite to that of the ram movement. Hence the name indirect extrusion. In this process, there is no relative movement between the billet and the container wall. Hence frictional losses are minimum and less mechanical energy is wasted in this process. Hence this process requires less power as compared to the direct extrusion process. However, the process is complicated because of the hollow ram and the reverse motion of the product then. So you look at the picture then, all it is clearly mentioned then, as the what ram only it is advances against a billet heated above the recrystallization temperature placed in a container. As the ram advances, the metal squeezes through that what ram then, and the die it is arranged at the one end of the what ram then. So as the metal squeezes then, so against the what ram and the die, then it will be moved backwards. Therefore, the movement of the what metal and the ram advancement, it is opposite to each other. So hence the name indirect extrusion then. So however, it is clearly mentioned in the what explanation such that there is no relative movement between the billet and the container. But metal, it is semi-solid metal, it is squeezed through the container wall, die opening then, hollow die opening. But there is no contact between the metal and the container. Therefore, no relative movement exists. Friction losses are minimum and less mechanical energy is wasted. However, this process requires less power as compared to direct extrusion. However, this process is complicated because of hollow ram design and reverse motion of the product then. So however, design it is somewhat complicated with the ram and die movement then coming to the other method then, that is lateral or side extrusion then. So this is uh, another type of extrusion process. In this process, the container is in vertical position and the die is located at the side then. The metal is kept in the container such that the vertical ram applies force on the metal and extruded part comes out from the bottom die end at the side then. As shown, it is clearly in the figure then. As shown clearly in the figure then. This process it is suitable for light metals and alloys that have low melting temperature then. So you clearly observe then. So it is the arrangement of the extrusion equipment, it is in vertical direction then. So the container is in vertical position and the die it is located in the side then. You look at the arrangement then, die it is clearly provided aside the container. The metal is kept in the container such that vertical ram applies force then. Vertical ram applies force on the metal and extruded part comes out from the bottom die end at the side then. When it is pressurized downward then, the metal squeezes and moves sideways then, and at the side then the provided die then. So through the narrow opening in the die, under high compressive forces in vertical direction, squeezes the metal in horizontal direction. It is clearly shown in the figure. This process it is suitable for light metals and alloys that have a low melting temperatures then. So all this is related to the lateral or side extrusion process then. Then coming to the another method, that is a extrusion forging. It is a combination of extrusion and forging. In this process, the metal is extruded through a die while being forged then. The process is widely used in the manufacture of poppet valves for IC engines. The arrangement of extrusion forging, it is given in the figure then. It is represented schematically here then. You look at the picture and go through them. An extrusion forging operation to produce a poppet valve, it is clearly shown in the figure. The valve is produced in a single operation from a heated steel slug in an hydraulic press then. Initially, the punch applies a pressure on the heated steel lug shown in the first figure and causes forging action. In the meantime, it is partially extruded through the die due to pressure from the punch then. The forging action forms the valve head, while the extrusion action forms the shank of the valve. This process it is clearly shown in both the figure then. The punch length is maintained so as to produce the correct head shank length. The punch is then raised and the valve is ejected from the die. The operation is simple and fast and carried out at high temperature, about 1200 degrees centigrade, as we already discussed. You observe the operations of the extrusion process then. So initially the heated billet it is placed in a die. As the punch advances, it forms the head of the poppet valve. It is an example of a part produced here then. It is forms a head of the poppet valve. Later then the punch slowly squeezes. As it squeezes then, the remaining metal it will be squeezed through the die opening, hence it forms the shank then. It is shown clearly in the second figure then. So all these are designed to the greater stresses then. So the arrangement of figure it is clearly shown in the figure. So the design of die is also somewhat complicated then. So punch needs a heavy pressure then. So however, a punch, then a die holder, arrangement of the die, and how the punch it is advances into the die, all it is shown in the figure. You look through to produce a poppet valve for IC engines. So these all methods, direct extrusion, indirect extrusion, extrusion forging, it is normally a hot extrusion process. Then coming to the what, because need a heavy forces, hence it is carried out under hot conditions. Then coming to the what, another extrusion process, that is a impact extrusion. Then impact extrusion is a cold extrusion process. Then similar to the what, back extrusion, but carried out at higher speeds. Then it is generally employed for production of light metal collapsible and disposable tubes like toothpaste tubes, shaving cream tubes, grease tubes, medical ointment containers, etc. This process is carried out in heavy duty mechanical process. Then the arrangement of impact extrusion, it is shown here. Then you look at the picture. Then the arrangement of die and punch in an impact extrusion is shown in the figure. Then the gap between the die cavity and the punch is such that it forms the shape of the product. In operation, a cold metal slug of suitable size is placed in the die. In the first figure you shown it, die cavity, and punch is driven rapidly into the die cavity. As there is no more place for the metal deformation, because there is no die opening here, then there is more place for the metal deformation in the cavity. The metal is forced upwards through the gap between the punch and the die. So this determines the thickness of the tube then, and forms a tube shaped product. Then the punch is withdrawn from the cavity and the extruded product is removed by using a stripping mechanism. It is provided in the die then. So you look at the picture. Then initially the heated cold extrusion process, then part it is not heated at all, highly ductile and soft materials are formed into the tubes and hollow shapes by this impact extrusion. Then initially the metal, it is placed in a die cavity. Die it is not having a opening then, and punch also it is bring it to the top position of the die. Then as the punch advances, it squeezes the metal, but there is a gap between the punch and the die. Then so this determines the thickness of the product. As it squeezes, the metal moves sideways. So when it advances a pressure over the work part, then the metal moves sideways in upward direction. That is clearly shown in the second figure. Then so as punch moves downwards, the extruded metal move upwards. It is clearly shown in the figure. Hence they can able to produce a tubes or hollow shapes by impact extrusion. Then this process, it is simple and economic, and it is most suitable to produce collapsible tubes. Production cost is comparatively low. Surface finish is very good. The production rate is very high. Then although it is having some kind of limitation, then it is limited to soft materials like lead, tin, and lead, tin, aluminum and copper. Then the tool wear is more because of cold working. The structure and foundation is to be very strong and rigid to withstand high impact forces. Lubrication is difficult in this process then, because the gap may fill and reduce the thickness. Then however, then this process, it is more suitable for the production of disposable tubes made of lead, tin, aluminum, which are used as container for a wide range of domestic and industrial materials like shaving cream, toothpaste, medical tube, grease containers and milk containers. So all these are the different applications with the what impact extrusion. Then finding a wider application with this process. Then coming to the next what extrusion process, that is a Hooker extrusion process. Then This is a special extrusion process used for manufacturing of tubular parts. Hooker extrusion is generally carried out in a mechanical crank press. Then, however, then the arrangement of Hooker extrusion process, it is shown clearly in the figure. Then, the arrangement of punch and die in a Hooker process, it is shown clearly in the figure. Then, in this usually free formed cupped blank then is placed in the die and the punch impacts on it. Due to impact action, the metal is extruded out the gap between the punch and the die, thus producing a tubular extrusion. Then, so you look at the arrangement. Then, so arrangement, it is somewhat difficult. Then initially it needs a cup shaped blank. Then, so this cup shaped blank is placed in a die and punch impacts on it. Then, as the impact applies over the cup shaped blank, the metal is extruded out through the gap between the punch and the die, then thus producing a tubular project. So you look at then cupped blank, it is placed in a die, punch it is bring it to the position on the top of the die. Then as it advances, then it forms a cup. Then but as the punch goes on upward, then so there is a small gap between the punch and the die. Then so therefore not only metal move in this case, then in the die, then the gap it is very small. Then and punch it is exactly dia of the top side of the die. Then but as punch it is descend to the greater length. As the punch advances in another opening of the die, then it brought the squeezed metal along with the punch. Then hence it forms a tubes. Then that formed or extruded shell or tube, it is shown in the figure. Then but in the earlier impact extrusion, the metal move upwards. In this case, then metal move downwards along with the punch. Hence it forms the shells or tubular products with the Hooker process. Then this process is useful for production of small brass cartridges. Then small brass cartridges, copper tubes for radiators and heat exchangers, and other short tubular components. This process is restricted to soft materials like lead, tin, aluminum and copper. Then because they have to provide a ductility property, because high impact process forces are required for pressing or forcing metal through the die, then along with the punch. Then therefore forces required are more even if you use a soft or ductile materials. At last, then hydrostatic extrusion. Then so this is the recent development in extrusion forming process in the hydrostatic extrusion forming then or extrusion process. Then in this process, then the billet it is surrounded by a liquid on all sides except at the front end of the die, which is pointed and passed through a cone shaped die. Pressure is applied on the billet surface through the fluid surrounding it. In turn, pressure is applied to the fluid by the ram. Then the fluid forces the billet forward into the die with heavy pressure while applying uniform compressive force on the billet. Then the liquid surround the billet plays a vital role. Thus the billet and the container withstand the high stresses. This reduces the power requirement to a greater extent as compared to the normal extrusion processes. This also reduces the formation of extrusion defect and extrusion piping. Generally, mineral oil is used as the working fluid. It is added with about 10% of the high pressure lubricants like molybdenum disulfate, and other lubricants can also be used. Then so however, then the arrangement of hydrostatic extrusion, it is shown in the figure. Then it consisting of a container, ram, then high pressure liquid surrounds the billet, then sealing rings to avoid the leakage of the fluid, then die, then die opening. All it is shown clearly in the figure. Then you look at the picture. Then so it is, as we already said, then it is a recent development in extrusion forming. Is the hydrostatic extrusion, I said. Then in this process, then the billet billet surrounds by a liquid on all sides except at the opening. Then you look at the picture. Then here here it is clearly visible. Then except its front end, which is pointed and passed through a cone shaped die. Then it is here. Then a pressure is applied on the billet surface through the fluid surrounding it. So because fluid completely surround the billet, and ram, it is force advances into the container, then the pressure is applied over the ram pad. Then in turn the pressure is applied to the fluid by the ram. Then the fluid pressure forces the billet forward into the die. Then while applying uniform compressive forces around the billet. Then earlier processes, then pressures are not distributed uniformly throughout the cross section area of the billet. Then but in this, fluid is used. Then high pressure forces are distributed uniformly throughout the billet. Then thus the billet is free from container surface, and practically there is no friction between the billet and the container. Liquid surrounds the billet. There is no contact between the container wall and the billet surface. Absolutely there is no friction. This reduces the power requirement, because as the friction increases, power required will also be increases. Therefore this reduces the power requirements to a greater extent as compared to the normal extrusion processes. This also reduces the formation of extrusion defect with high extrusion friction. Then high friction, sometimes it is bound to form the piping type defects in the extruded part. This it is completely absent in a hydrostatic extrusion. Then generally mineral oil is used as the working fluid around the billet. Then it is added with about 10% of the high pressure fluids, like molybdenum disulfide. Then all arrangements that we have shown clearly in the picture. Then it is also having a greater advantage. Then materials with limited ductility can also be extruded. Then but in earlier process to produce tubes, it is not possible. Here then limited ductility metals and alloys can be easily extruded. Then there is no friction between the billet and the container, hence require less power also. Because of the absence of the friction, there is no possibility of extrusion defect. Friction mainly affect the formation of the defect. In this friction, it is completely nil. Then therefore defects are completely avoided in this process. Then high speed steel and cast iron can be extruded easily, but design of equipment is complicated somewhat. So some of the disadvantages are only cold extrusion is possible, because billet heated above the requisite temperature may reduce the or increase the viscosity, and it is difficult to retain in the container, and construction and mechanism is somewhat complicated, suitable only for limited shape. However, then it is a type of cold extrusion process. So with this these extrusion methods are repetitively they have asked in the previous question paper, especially hydrostatic extrusion, impact extrusion, forward and backward extrusion, or direct or indirect extrusions. All they have repetitively asked in the previous question papers. Students need to concentrate more on these methods of extrusion. Then therefore they can able to write required information about these extrusion methods, but draw the figures neatly and provide necessary explanation regarding the what particular extrusion method, then thereby you can able to score more. I hope all you have understood then, and able to what predict in the examination. Thank you then.